Hi guys, what's up and welcome to this week's video. So this week I will be reviewing the OnePlus 13, which is OnePlus's latest phone. I've been using this phone for just over a month and testing out all its various features, including the camera and OnePlus AI features. So let's get straight into the review. Firstly, let's talk about the phone's look and feel. This phone has a 6.8-inch OLED display with a resolution that goes up to Quad HD+. The screen's colors look sharp, vibrant, and have a good contrast and clarity, so there are no complaints whatsoever. Also, you have a bunch of display settings so you can tweak the display exactly to your liking. So one thing that I did notice about this phone's design is that this phone is a bit narrower than other phones out there. So the width is 76.5 millimeters, which is a couple of millimeters less than the latest iPhone and also Samsung phone. So personally, I don't like that the screen is a bit narrower because I feel like my field of view is a bit wider and I could have covered a couple of more millimeters, which other phones have, but it's just a couple of millimeters, so it doesn't matter that much. Moreover, the phone screen isn't completely flat, so it's slightly curved from the edges, which is a unique design feature and it might be your cup of tea or it might not. I personally like the flatter displays. However, when it comes to the back of the phone, I do quite like it because the back is a matte finish and it's textured, so the grip is really nice. Also, I got it in the Midnight Ocean color, which is a lovely shade of blue. When you do hold the phone, it's actually really nice and comfortable in your hand. Another major plus, no pun intended, is that the phone comes with a screen protector which has already been put on, which I think is great, and that's what makes the phone quite scratch resistant as well. So now let's talk about the phone's performance and features. So this phone claims to have a faster Neuro engine, an improved CPU and GPU, and a big jump in memory bandwidth from its predecessor. And I must say, I personally love the smoothness of this phone. It feels very responsive, very fast, very snappy, and it's just an all-round pleasure to use. Gaming, entertainment, jotting down notes, and scrolling on social media apps works seamlessly and has a brilliant speed. The fingerprint scanner and face recognition also works quite well. Also, another bonus is that this phone has something called Aqua Touch 2.0, which means that if your phone gets covered in a bit of water, like raindrops, or if you're using it in the shower, the phone still works smoothly. It detects your touch in a very accurate way. You also have glove mode and it also works quite well in that, which is perfect for UK winters. And the phone is also highly water and dust proof. Now, when it comes to specific features of the phone, the iPhone has a dynamic bar and so does this phone. And I personally prefer this phone's dynamic bar as compared to the iPhone. It kind of opens up into a mini window and you can tap it again to kind of maximize the window, and I just found that using this was just a better experience. Also, OnePlus uses the Oxygen operating system, and I love how you can go back with gestures from both sides rather than just one. Also, you have the smart sidebar. You can pull down from the top and you can see all your tools and notifications in one swipe. It's a very efficient and intuitive phone. Also, you can use 3 fingers to take a screenshot. You can swipe up with 3 fingers to allow split screen for 2 apps. Also, you have the feature of directly being able to share stuff with the iPhone. So that kind of takes away a little bit from the Apple ecosystem features because now this can also work with that. The phone also supports security features by Google, where it checks your device for suspicious apps. You also have theft protection and a safety center. Now let's talk about OnePlus AI and Gemini. Intelligent Search lets you search for specific information in your files and notes, and you can also ask it questions. For example, I jotted down an order that I wanted to make from Wingstop and I wanted to repeat that order. So instead of having to go through my notes and find that order, I kind of just asked it, like, what's my go-to order from Wingstop? And it brought that up. And I think that can be really useful. The phone also uses AI noise reduction. So if you're on a phone call and there's a lot of background noise, it kind of eliminates that noise. You also have additional AI writing tools such as Writer, Reply, and Summary, which essentially checks for spelling, grammar, and typos. And it also analyzes on-screen content and generates replies for instant messaging apps. Another great thing that this phone has is Gemini, which is one of my personal favorite AIs. It has a bunch of features like Circle to Search and Gemini Live, and if you want to find out more about its features, you can check out my Google Pixel 9 Pro XL review because I go through it in detail there. But yeah, pretty much those features are available on this phone. Now let's talk about the camera. So the specs of the OnePlus 13 camera look very impressive. You have a 50 megapixel wide, ultra wide, and telephoto lens, and you also have a 32 megapixel front camera. You have up to 4K recording on both sides with a bunch of different frame rates, so it's not lacking in any kind of features there. So when it comes to the front camera and taking selfies, for example, not that I take that many, the way that my face looks just looks different and it just feels more 3D, and I think they've done that on purpose to kind of make you look more flattering and stand out from other phones. It just feels a bit like the sides are a bit more like fisheye, like distorted, and your face, I guess, just maybe looks a bit slimmer. I don't know. Now, when it comes to the main back cameras, the OnePlus 13 has a bunch of features. So you have studio burst portraits, which basically capture fast moving objects quite well, hence being useful in action and sports photography. You also have a dedicated nighttime photography mode for those low light conditions, and you also have a dual recording. Now, when I put all these features to the test, I personally don't really like this camera. Firstly, the colors. The colors just look not appealing. The way that the colors are processed within this phone, I just don't like the end result. And that could be personal preference, but a lot of people have also said that there's a weird kind of grayish, bluish hue. So overall, whilst the resolution and features of this camera do look good and it does take some decent photos, overall I really just don't like the camera. So yeah, street photography, architecture, nature, yeah, that does somewhat look good. I mean, I still feel like it lacks a bit of vibrancy, but especially when it comes to humans and portrait photography and human faces, I feel like the skin tones and things just don't look as nice. It accentuates little blemishes and things and adds noise to them and too much detail, and just overall makes the person not look as flattering. And a couple of times I wanted to record an Instagram story with the phone's camera to kind of show my YouTube video and promote that, and the way that it was looking compared to when I recorded it with the iPhone, and I think maybe that's even why the phone is priced at a lower price point, because when it comes to the camera it just feels a bit more on the cheaper side. The photo editing features though are pretty good. So you have AI unblur, detail boost, and reflection eraser, and you can also remove people and things from shots. Now let's talk about the battery life and speakers. Now the battery life is an area where the OnePlus 13 definitely excels. This has a remarkable battery. It also charges very fast, so it has 6,000 milliamp hours, which I think some folding phones don't even have. It definitely lasts more than a day very easily, and the battery life is great. Speakers are good for a phone, of course. They go quite loud, the increments are good. So what is my overall verdict when it comes to this phone? I must say that this phone is terrific in almost all areas, except, of course, you guessed it, the camera. But when it comes to the actual phone usage, how fast it is, all the features, just the user friendliness, the snappiness, it's just a pleasure to use and hold, and it can be a perfect phone for somebody who's not that into, you know, taking a lot of pictures or into content creation. So that's pretty much it for this week's video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and I will see you in my next video. So until then, take care.